What's going on, guys? It's Blake here with Nehemiah's Hands podcast. I'm here with Presley.
What's up?
We kind of just wanted to do an introduction video of kind of what we're even doing. I think it is important that we let y'all know what this podcast is truly about. And so we're here to tell you today. And then we'll introduce ourselves a little bit. We'll go through that, and that'll be it. It'll just be a short video, hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll see how long we go.
We can get to talking.
Yeah, we can get talking real bad. So I would say the very first thing that comes to my mind when I was like, I want to do a podcast was really just spreading God's word. I'm pretty sure you're the same way.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely like your idea, but I was kind of right there with you. Like, all right, if we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like our initial thought. Back in January of this year, me and him talked about doing something like this, just doing a two-person, just going through the Bible and whatnot. And that was a good little sneak peek. I guess trying to get in to see what equipment would cost and what would we even do, you know?
Sure, yeah.
We didn't go crazy in depth, but it was definitely something that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
We learned a little bit,
Yeah.
but that was like our thought back in January. And then the kind of the thought faded. It really didn't get put back on my heart until recently. We have a nonprofit, which I'll get in that in a minute. But that was another factor. We'll talk about that, like I said. But yeah, I truly just wanted a platform to be able to spread God's word. At our shop that we work at, I was first to start doing like a Bible study with all the guys at the shop. And we're all pretty much family, not blood, but definitely as close as blood can get.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
But so we would do little Bible studies, and I'd be the leader of it, and so that helped my confidence and my maturity as a Christ follower, and being able to spread His word. And we're no scholars.
Yeah.
I have no degree
No
in
way.
any of the any of the things I probably do need to spread His word.
Yeah.
But I think that's what really we like is that we're just some young guys trying to follow Christ together, and yes, is it important to get all those, what do they call those things?
Degrees?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You call them degrees. But anyways, all these certificates and whatnot that says you
Yeah.
went through this school and I get it. I mean, it's important. God's word is it's so powerful, and we don't want to butcher it. I mean, there's definitely probably things we're going to say that most scholars wouldn't agree with. But we just tried to be as real as possible with our thoughts. And but yeah, like I said, we started at the shop doing Bible studies, and that kind of grew my maturity and some of the outwardly speaking about God's word, public speaking, if you would. And then Presley, when was it? Start of this year, you started getting into.
It was like late last year, like November,
Okay.
December.
Yeah. He was really wanting to do what I did, and so I let him. I think we started together, right?
Yeah, we definitely started together.
Yeah. We started together, just doing this little Bible study. We had a group of 8 guys? It was 8 guys total.
Yeah.
So it was a decent group, and we would just go over whatever God put on our heart that night before, or just that week, really.
Yeah.
But he definitely showed up and showed out. And then he started taking over. I kind of just did whatever. He didn't have something, I just went ahead and did it.
Yeah.
Sure. But yeah, it was a good experience. So then it led us to here, and now we're blessed with having a podcast, and
It's crazy.
yeah, we'll see how far we get. I have big goals and big dreams, so hopefully, God willing, and all in God's will for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, without God, I wouldn't even be here. So that alone is, so I'm so grateful. So with that being said, the second thing was this nonprofit that we're building behind the scenes. Yes, it is called Nehemiah's Hands nonprofit. So we actually named the nonprofit first.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? Why could I not just make a podcast
Yeah.
spreading God's word? Because the Nehemiah's Hands name was a creative name that we came up with, and I loved it. If you go back and read Nehemiah's story in the Bible, It's talking about a huge group of families coming together to build Jerusalem's walls back, and it was ultimately Nehemiah's what God called him to build this
Mhm.
wall. He followed what God told him to do, and it's a great story of people coming together and working diligently and
Yeah,
very hard.
for sure.
Yeah. Um, so, anyways, so this nonprofit was, like I said, the second part of why we made this podcast, and I'm hoping um, when that nonprofit is released, I can use this platform to kind of help with that awareness or just what we do with the nonprofit. So it's just one of the roles I have in that nonprofit, one of the members. So we'll see. When that comes up, we'll definitely let you know. And yeah,
Yeah,
we're I'm just excited. Like I
yeah, for sure. It's definitely when you were saying about Nehemiah's hands and the whole all like a lot of groups of families coming together to build Jerusalem's walls back. I was thinking just like how much work it actually is to start this nonprofit, and we did not anticipate that going into it. But it is a lot behind the scenes, like you said, to even get it started, and then doing the actual like nonprofit. It doesn't just flow real easy like you might think. It's a lot of groundwork to get events started and events planned, and you're planning this one while you're planning the next one. It's a lot of things.
yeah, and the crazy part is, we just have a little hand. Like we're not like the person who really is driving this whole nonprofit. Like
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
kind of the guys that just kind of help when we can type thing and ideas and whatever. But my father, he's kind of he's the president of it, and
yeah,
man, just seeing what he has to go through to be able to make something like that is I can't say anything. Like
yeah.
that's next level.
It's intense. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah. That's an inside joke.
yeah.
But anyways, so that was the second part. Like I said, it'll definitely be talked about a lot, that nonprofit in this arena. Um, I'm excited for that, really, because that'll open up whole different avenues for things for us as a group of men trying to go out in the community and help others and elderly people. And because we're young,
Yeah,
we definitely can do whatever
yeah.
that we put our minds to. We're not disabled or anything.
No, we don't.
We're definitely able. We're
Yeah,
able bodies.
nothing holding us
So
back.
yeah, yeah, we just want to do what God has called us to do, and that's really just helping others and spreading His word. And that's I think that's our main objective.
For sure.
So like I said, this podcast is going to be really just spreading the gospel and just allowing us to connect and encourage y'all each and every day to be in your word and be able to pray and just man just be a joyful Christian. I think
For
that's
sure.
something that some people just get lost in. You can go out through your life and these trials that God will put you through can really can
Wear you down.
wear yeah
Yeah, yeah,
it can
yeah.
wear you down, bring you down, and that's what's the beautiful thing about having a relationship with Jesus is He's always there for you. Um, Something I saw a smaller podcast say. Um, I don't what was it, Narrow Way podcast. It's a guy I just started following, and he was talking about how the narrow path that Jesus talks about in the Bible. You got
Yeah.
the big path for everybody to go, and then you got this narrow path.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about how important it is that this narrow path has like guardrails for you. Like it's not just a path with like a steep cliff and another steep cliff,
Yeah.
and then you're just walking on this narrow path with
Yeah,
nothing to
trying to
guard
stay
you.
on. Yeah.
Right. And he made a good analogy with it. That these guardrails are set up in place that Jesus put in place. Sorry, excuse me. And when you're walking that narrow path, it's not like you just fall off and you go
Yeah.
into deep abyss. Like He's got guards for you, so if you do go off a little bit, He's going to bring you right back
Yeah.
into this
Yeah.
path. So that's a beautiful thing in my mind. I love that I heard that today. I actually heard it today. So um, that's really a good thought to have when you're in this walk with Jesus is
Mm-hmm.
just knowing that He's going to be there for you. I know there's definitely some financial stress that can happen, some business stress,
For sure.
family stress,
Yeah. All the things.
just life.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Life stress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and He's always there for you, I think that's what we want to come across as just really organic, talks and
Yeah.
just young men. I mean, I'll get into introducing myself here in a second, but um, we're just trying to spread His word the best we can, and we'll
Sure.
see how God moves us and how far this podcast even goes. You got anything?
Just something you texted our little group chat last night with the 4 guys that we have on this podcast. That our second video had 300 and almost 370 views,
Yeah.
and I was like, wow, like God is working. Like,
Yeah.
that was posted 5 days ago today, and when you sent that, it was 4 days ago, and that just took me aback. I was like, wow, I did not expect that. But that's insane.
I think it's like 400 right now.
Wow.
But that's you know what I mean. But like 400
I know,
right now
right?
is
No,
sick, dude.
yeah, exactly,
Like I'll
yeah.
take 400 all day. Like that's 400 people, even if they only watch 10 minutes or 5
sure.
minutes. That's another face, you know. And I think that's what's important too. Like when I think of viewers or people just seeing our content, like as soon as you see us, like we're obviously talking about God. Like it's instant. Like you know.
And that's planting seeds.
Exactly.
Like, them listening to it, them watching it, even if it's only 10 minutes, that seed of like, wow, these guys are doing something a little different has already been planted.
Yeah. And we might not have the best equipment.
Yeah.
We might not have a $2,000 camera to record us, but we're doing our best. What we got.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, definitely. We'll get into introductions just so we can make it quick. So my name is Blake. I'm 23, and I run a body shop up in Woodbury. That's the shop we work at, and I've been doing that for probably 3 years. Going almost 3 years. Be December. Be 3 years. I'm just a body tech there. Nothing crazy, but definitely blessed to have the opportunity. When I grew up, I don't want to go too far into it, but I definitely grew up in church. I definitely had great parents that led me to Christ. But the problem is sometimes you get forced to do something and you just kind of do it. And you just nonchalant, yeah, I'm a Christ follower.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I got baptized when I was 12, and you have a similar story as well. You in that first year from like 12 to 13, like I didn't really understand I understood who Jesus was. Like I believed in him and everything, so that's why I got baptized. But when I went from like 12 to I was probably 21, it was lukewarm. I didn't really read my Bible much. I went to church, whatever my parents wanted to do, I kind of did. And I went through middle school, high school, still the same mindset, just doing my own thing, doing what Blake wanted to do and not what God wanted me to do. Relationships, temptations, all the things. I definitely went through some ups and downs for sure. And then I went to college, and I only went to college for a semester and didn't really like it, so I came back and I just found a job that I actually worked at Amazon.
Okay, yeah.
I did night shifts for 3 months, and it sucked. But I mean, I was grateful, for me to come back home and not have no experience doing anything. I did landscaping before, but didn't want to do that again. But so I went to Amazon for like 3 months, and I joined a moving company, and I stayed there for a little over a year. And it's crazy looking back at it now. Like, I didn't really have a good influence. Those movers, no one talked about God in that place. It was a really bad environment, and that's something I'm very grateful for the shop, because we're all Christ followers. We all believe, and we play gospel music when we can, Christian rap, all this.
Listen to some sermons.
Yeah, listen to sermons. Philip Anthony Mitchell, Good Night, Bryce Crawford, Forrest Frank, like
George Janko.
Yeah,
all of them.
Yeah, we'll just sit there doing body work and whatnot, and have it playing on the little speaker in there, and we just have a good time. So I'm very blessed to have the opportunity. I'm not around people who just don't talk about God or who don't believe in it. That's a struggle.
Yeah,
most people go through that, and
I mean most workplaces are probably the complete opposite of that.
Yeah,
and it's very. I haven't been in too many, luckily, but I can imagine that it's very difficult to navigate, especially as a Christ follower, as a Christian.
It pulls you apart, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you when I first, I'll just say this, when I first got there, I was obviously I was the youngest guy there. I was 19,
Yeah.
and obviously I had to grow a lot. But these good, you listen to rap songs, and they cuss all the time, and they smoke and whatnot, and
Yeah.
you're around that 24/7, and it's just difficult to be around. And so I left there, and that's when I joined the shop. I went from there to there because I tried starting my own landscaping business, and thank God I didn't continue that because it was a good learning lesson. Though I learned a lot just trying to create my own business off of no knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I knew how to landscape. I enjoyed it. I was good at it, um, but definitely something that I'm glad I went through. But anyways, so yeah, where was I?
Moving company, stayed there
Yeah,
for like a year.
yeah. And I went to the shop.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into my testimony just yet. I think just introduction wise, it's good. I've obviously I found God about 2 years ago. Didn't really get in crazy with His Word, like reading all the time, praying and whatnot. Probably about a year and a half ago. So there was like a half a year where I just kind of dabbled in reading and trying to get comfortable reading His Word, and because it was confusing. Um, so, anyways, that's kind of my introduction. Nothing too much to it, just something simple. So, Presley,
Yeah. Just starting off, our stories are like so similar, really and truly. We have a lot of the same experiences, even though you're older and experienced it at a different age, a different time. Uh, Hearing that just all together, I've heard many stories and stuff from just hanging out, but hearing it all together is crazy to compare it to mine. I'm Presley. I'm 19. I grew up in Smyrna, Tennessee. Went to church with my grandparents every single Sunday. Went to Cracker Barrel before that. It was just kind of our routine.
Cracker
Yeah. Too bad it's
Barrel.
yeah. Anyway.
Well, can I interrupt?
Yeah, sure.
So they changed the logo, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then I was looking at their Instagram not too long ago, and they had like a huge apologetic letter,
Really?
and they said they're going back. So
Okay.
they're bringing the cracker and the barrel back.
Okay. Yeah.
So it'll be the original logo. So
What about the inside?
see, there was a comment on there that said
Okay. Yeah.
that they better not touch the inside.
Yeah, the inside's what I care about for
Yeah.
sure. Gotta
Yeah.
have the antiques and the fireplace.
I don't know if they'll see him.
Yeah, maybe not.
Sorry. It's Knox down there. If y'all watched episode 2, y'all see him
Yeah.
in the video. I try to keep him out of the camera. Not just because people
Yeah.
can get distracted and whatnot. But
Yeah.
he's a good boy. He's just chilling.
Yeah, he's just hanging out.
Yeah. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. So, yeah, went to church every single Sunday and knew who Jesus was. Enjoyed going to church, loved it, Sunday school, the whole thing. And when I was 8 years old, I remember just being in church during the altar call, and I just felt like overwhelming. Like I knew I had done wrong, and I knew that I couldn't fix it. Like I knew that someone else had to fix it. Obviously, being in church and learning for 8 years prior to that. I say 5 because can't really go hear stuff as a baby. Can't really know that stuff. But anyway, so yeah, and I went up there. And I just prayed God into my life, and I said, "Please, I need you to come and fix this wrong that I've done." And so I was definitely saved at that point. But talked about this a little bit. Episode 2, it was stagnant for a long time. Until I was about 16. It's probably about 8 more years. It just kind of sat there, and like Blake said, maybe I'll read my Bible a little bit every now and then. Still went to church every single Sunday. Don't get me wrong. Love church. I've always loved church, but I just wouldn't get a whole lot out of it. Or maybe I'd be like, "Hey, brother Terry's my pastor. Like, hey, that was a really good message," but I wouldn't take it to heart.
Isn't Brother Terry? Isn't there 2 of them?
Yes. So our youth pastor is Brother Terry, and our regular pastor over the whole church is Brother Terry as well.
And they don't. You told me they don't even say little Terry.
Yeah, well, because one is shorter, and then one is about my height, about 6 foot, and so
It's a funny
If
thing.
you want to call him Little Terry and Big Terry, you can.
Yeah, brother Little Terry, brother Terry. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, I didn't mean to interrupt.
They refer to themselves as T1 and T2.
T1, T2.
Yeah.
Thing 1, thing 2.
Exactly. Yeah.
Go ahead.
But so yeah, just kept going to church, doing my thing. Around around 8th grade year, I started growing this mullet out. I haven't shown it on the camera yet. It's really not that great. It was better before, but now I've let it go to waste. But anyway, I wasn't really a great kid. I did a lot of stupid stuff. I went out on my own. Kind of the more relaxed parenting type of situation, and I was the second child, so I did a lot of my own stuff, did kind of what I wanted to do, and there wasn't a whole lot of backlash at that. And not that that was a bad thing. I definitely learned a lot of lessons through having those bad years as a teenager, but yeah, did a lot of stupid, did my own stuff. And when I was about 16, I was just in this relationship, and not to get too much into my testimony, but God just kind of let me know that it's not where I needed to be. So started walking towards Him more, and yeah, that was about 3 years ago. 3 years ago. I'm 19 now.
Hey.
But that was
Time
like,
flies.
yeah, that was like May-ish, March, April, May, somewhere in there. And then a year ago in May was when I started working at the body shop. I had literally just graduated, graduated high school, started working at the body shop. And I wanted to comment on this too. When you are saved, you can look back on all the little things God has done to guide you and put you and place you where you are. I mean, like I met your dad when I was in high school, and he just liked me, like for no reason at all.
He used to be called Big Tex.
Yeah.
So he used to be a big boy.
Used to, yeah.
And he's slimmed down, but my dad would always call him Big Tex. Not to interrupt your introduction at all, but
sure.
My dad would always say, "Hey, I'm gonna get Big Tex out here." And like every time he would say Big Tex, I'd think of some big dude that definitely the mullet. I guessed. He definitely knew he had long hair because it just went with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He came in and he was skinny as all get out. I'm like, so what? So anyways, we ended up seeing a picture of him back in when he was Big Tex.
Yeah.
And but now we just call him P-Dog.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, for sure.
Anyways, go ahead.
No, back in Big Tex days, I was like 235, 240, and yeah, now I'm like 185 on a good day. So
it's good.
Yeah, but for sure, yeah, just all the little things that God does to place you where you are. So as soon as I graduated, his dad hit up my teacher that I was in the class with that I met through high school. I met his dad through high school. He was like, "Hey, what's he doing?" And just started coming out to the shop a little bit. And of course, when he saw me, that was the first time he saw me since high school. He was like, "What happened to you?" But yeah, and yeah, being in that environment around a bunch of Christian guys, hearing his story and how similar our stories were, which we'll get into probably a different video. But it was so incredible to just meet him, and he was a blessing in my life from the very beginning. I met him, still is to this day. Yeah, going through life with this guy is incredible. But he's done a lot for me, and yeah, just being around him every day.
I'm trying to make brother cry right now, dude.
No, dude.
Don't do that.
That's about it. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
I made him cry. It's good.
No, just being at the shop, all the people I've met there is incredible. Definitely the highlight of my 19 years so far. Like can't compare it. I wish everyone who watches this video could meet the group of people that I get to be around every day. Yeah. And when I tell a story, just by the way, it's like all out, all the details. I had to stop myself several times from not going down little rabbit holes.
Same.
Yeah. So
same. We're definitely blessed.
For sure.
God is definitely protecting us from a lot of things that could have hurt us, but we had to go through both. Like I said, he me and him had the same kind of testimony, and it really dealt with relationships, with women. I wouldn't call them women, probably girls.
Yeah, girls for sure.
So yeah. But anyways, yeah. Thank you for saying that. I don't ever I don't hear that a lot, and there's definitely times where people do need to hear a little bit of praise at some level. Um, something, when he was talking about him growing up and being able to not be so strict, like his parents weren't as strict as they probably should have.
Yeah, well, just way stricter on my sister, who's 9 years older than me, than they were on me. Kind of just, yeah. But
I'm the oldest of my mom. I have an older sister with my dad's side, so um, definitely different in a sense of like I don't want to go into it. It'll be a whole rabbit hole.
Yeah, it would be.
Just know that we kind of grew up the same, and that's how we connect with each other a lot. Because me and him kind of the same heart, and the way we grew up, and how God is using us in this moment. And I love that I can see him at 19, and what I was like when I was 19 was completely opposite.
Yeah.
And so he's got a huge calling on his life, and I try to just be the best example as I can with the guys. And we, just so y'all know, we all live in one house together. The other two guys, Adam, if y'all go to watch episode 2, y'all understand who's who.
Yeah.
Adam is actually heading to Montana right now. His girlfriend is actually there. She lives there. So she used to live in where we are, Middle Tennessee, and she moved back home due to living circumstances. But anyways, so he's gone, and then Ryan, the other guy, he's out with
dinner.
Yeah, he's at dinner with his mom and my dad. So he couldn't make it to this little introduction. So we'll make sure to introduce him another time for sure.
For sure.
But yeah, man, I'm excited. God has definitely blessed me with so many things, and there's something I want to touch on that just hit my brain, and I don't want to go into it too much, but I probably will. That's how I am.
Yeah. And then I'll probably have something to say too.
Yeah. So God ends up giving you a lot of things, right? And He uses people. He uses people very strategically in your life, and one of the people in my life, one person in my life, is my dad, and he has been he's been so hard on me since I've came to the shop, because my dad runs that shop. So that's kind of how we started connecting again, because me and my dad didn't have a great relationship. We didn't get to see each other for probably 8 years. So from like 12 to 21. So that's 9. I'm sorry. About 9 years. And trying to get back into his life and make up for lost time has been very difficult. But, being around him is difficult, but he loves everyone. And it's like hard love is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
It's like hard to be around, but he definitely loves you. So it's like he definitely does everything he can to make sure he supports you, loves you, gives you praise, tells you for real what you're doing wrong. Straight up. He actually talked to Presley this morning.
I got a taste of that straight up.
Yeah. He got it was good for him. He needed it
for sure.
And so I give most of the praise to my dad, because he has shown me how to become a man. Because I love my mama. My mama, she's the best thing that ever happened to me, and I love her to death. But as men have to have other men surrounded them to make them grow as men, and so your mothers can only do so much to a certain degree. And I don't want to get into that. It might be a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mothers can baby you and take you through some things that, they might shield you from a lot of things in the world. And, your father is there to bring you into manhood.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important. It's the most important thing ever. And still to this day, my dad's still pushing me. And just the love that he has for God. We call him David because he's a man after God's own heart. And it's just kind of the person we relate to him. Sometimes we like to,
as far as like biblically
biblically speaking, yeah. And so he's kind of the guy, and he's got a lot of responsibility on his back, and he holds it like a champ. And he relies on God a lot through the emotions, anger um, that he receives, and just has to deal with. But besides that, like I truly am grateful for this situation that I'm in. I have a great group of guys that I get to mentor and grow and see grow. I think, you're talking about being truly saved, and these two other guys, me and him, have been baptized and whatnot, and that's great, right? That's the first, like we talked about in episode 2, being born again.
Yeah.
It's the first step, and Nicodemus didn't quite understand that. And
Yeah.
I don't blame the guy. We can go back into that episode later, or you can go see it later. But talking about being born again, but that's the first step. And something. One of my goals is if they watch it this long, it's longer than 20, 30 minutes.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's
It's all right.
We're just talking.
A little off topic.
Having a good time.
Having a good time. Yeah. But the other two guys, Adam and Ryan, have not been baptized, and that is one of my major goals before I move out of here, because I am I'm not married yet, but I do have a beautiful fiance, and she is absolutely amazing. So we are going to be getting married May 16th. So I only have less than a year left with these guys, and that's one of my main goals. And I pray about it all the time, that God will use me, use Presley, use anybody else. Someone to get these guys to go get baptized. And I truly don't want them to do it because we tell them, hey, you should go do it. That would be probably the worst thing that ever happened. I want it because they want it, and that's something that's very important as a mentor. What's the word I'm looking for? Mentor. We can cut this out.
Yeah.
It'd be hard. No, we can cut it out.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's all
good.
It's all good. We don't really care. It's all organic, all whatever. So, but anyways, just being able to mentor those guys and see them grow and be able to have them on a Christian podcast
For sure.
when they don't really understand the word. And that could be dangerous because if they say something that they think is true and that might not be true, that could be really bad. Yeah. And we all take that chance when we come on social media and tell others about Jesus and his word and try to interpret it for ourselves.
For sure.
And we definitely do our research. We definitely look at videos. I mean, me and him are big Bryce Crawford fans, and we love watching him. And he's such a great evangelist, and we all look up to him for sure. Forrest Frank too, just with his talking about Forrest Frank and what was his name, Corey Asbury.
Yeah.
Their the thing that happened recently, that was incredible. How Forrest handled that situation and seeing Corey's response too as well. But we got a lot of people that we look up to, and this is something small for us that God has truly blessed us with. And,
for sure.
I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. I think that's really that's about it though. Anything else you want to add? I could talk forever.
Yeah, I know. We definitely could just keep talking forever. But something that hit my mind when we first started, and it just came back as you said that. But having these two other guys with us, Adam and Ryan, like I said, we might understand the word a little bit more, have been in practice with it for a year or two more. And they have not.
We'll have to cut this out.
Yeah, definitely will.
Or we won't.
Yeah, we don't know what.
Did your phone die?
No, it
just quit.
I know.
Sorry guys, we use screen mirroring for the TV to get that logo to go up there. Maybe the TV remote.
I'm surprised nothing's popped up yet.
Oh, there we go.
All right,
we're back.
Nehemiah's Hands is back. Podcast.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
Just start over.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Whole thing over again.
Oh.
But yeah, just having those two guys with us is incredible, and just being able to have their viewpoints as well on the word. They might relate to the word with y'all more than we would. We might have more of an understanding, if you will, and you may not. So them saying whatever they may say about whatever we're reading might connect with you in a certain way. And that's true with anyone reading, whether they have more understanding or don't. I'm a firm believer in just perspective. So someone's perspective could be very similar to yours. And that can go to past experiences as well. Maybe they read something and it's like, hey, I went through a time like this. And you relate almost exactly to that. So I think it's not, 4 is a good number.
Yeah.
I was going to say like the more the merrier, but
Yeah.
4 is a very good number. It's very manageable. We all live in the same house.
Yeah.
So I'm just so grateful to have him with us doing this. And like he said, I wouldn't want to do it without him.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's a diversity. Like me and him are very similar with our, like, you would connect with us if you had relationship problems or anything to do with, going through a hard time with that situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The other guys, they go through something completely different. And so that's why we connect really well, because we're, like we said, we're very similar in a lot of areas of our life. And I'm just 4 years ahead of him, but really he's 4 years ahead of me. He's 19.
It took me a second.
Yeah, you're good. We're all both blonde too, so it takes us a minute to realize things.
For sure.
But I just want to encourage y'all in this video to just, I think what the word that's been put on my heart is boldness, and it's something that Bryce Crawford actually mentioned in a recent video of his, and it talks about how God wants you to be bold in speaking His word and having confidence to go speak His word. And that's definitely difficult because the devil will definitely try to he'll do anything he can to tear you apart. And he'll distract you with your job, with relationships, families, business. He'll do everything he can. And so I'm just truly blessed that God has given us opportunity to be bold, to talk about His word. And are we going out to the streets?
Not quite. Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. We're not going out to the streets yet to do evangelism. I think we do have to do some more maturing for sure in our faith. And there's going to be, I think baby steps are very important, even through your walk. Something we said in episode 2 with being born again, there's that one first step that you take to be baptized in water. And then there's a whole life in front of you that is just walking through God's path for you. And that's a whole walk. And
never ends.
It never ends. And God is waiting for you all the time. And hey, just take this step, like it's I got you. And obviously there's times of seasons that you are patient and you have to wait. But you don't wait with idle hands. Like you don't wait just sitting, hey, I'm waiting, God. You're still being productive, you're still creating stuff, but he'll just you just gotta be patient sometimes. But I think that's my biggest struggle is patience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it. That's definitely longer than we expected.
Yeah, for sure. I think
So next episode, I will get with the guys and see if it's okay. But I'm actually going to Chattanooga and to go see my fiance for Labor Day weekend. I hope y'all be safe for Labor Day weekend. I know a lot of people go to the lake and whatnot and enjoy the weather, be safe, don't do anything stupid. My stepdad, funny story. My stepdad, he gave me a car and it was a little rice burner, and it's okay.
Yeah.
He gave me a little rice burner, and I always would drive kind of crazy. This is how I was. You were 16, 17 at the time, or I was. But he would always tell me to be reckless. Like your mom says, be safe, and he's like, just be reckless. You're good. Yeah. Like it just as a joke, because we'd always do the opposite. Anything our parents did as teenagers, we just do the opposite of.
Yep.
Unless they're truly mad, then that's different. But anyways, so but yeah, next episode, like I said, where I'm going to chat. My fiance's there. They actually wanted to do a podcast with some of the girls. They'll definitely have good topics to talk about. They all do Christian ministry up in their college, and so that'll be a good different viewpoint for any of my female audiences. If I want to connect with them, that'll probably be next episode. That'll be out, and then we'll come back. The episode after that was hopefully all 4 of us again. Probably going over some of John again, continuing. Then the born again thing. And, I think the next one was John 3:16 through 21. Yes, yeah, I'm so
Yep.
sorry. Yes,
16
John
through
16 through 21, and that's a good set of verses that we can really sit there and study. So, but anyways, I enjoyed myself. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hope we can do our testimony video soon.
Yes.
Definitely want to be all four of us, whether that's all together or maybe some separate videos where you can watch them individually. We haven't quite figured out how we're going to do that, but either way, I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to be here.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Make sure you leave a comment and a like, of course, but make sure you leave a comment just letting us know what you would like to see, maybe some things that you want us to talk about. I know the testimony is probably going to be one big thing that a lot of y'all are going to want to know about.
Yeah.
And we definitely are trying to figure out, like you said,
The
when
right way to do it, when to do
yeah,
it.
yeah. So, but if there's anything else that you want us to talk about, maybe it's a passage in the Bible, a parable, whatever you want us to go over to see our point of view on it, would be great. We'd be all in.
Yeah, for sure.
Even if it is just a 5-10 minute video.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and if you stayed this far, thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a long video of us just talking.
Yep.
So, but yeah, thank you, and yeah, see y'all.